As of this recording, many things have been resolved here this past week in the legislative session here. Today would mark the 112th day of the session, but I'm happy to report that it's been a very eventful week in more ways than one. Probably most notably is that we actually resolved about three of the major issues of the session. First one being the education bill that passed on Monday night. That was passed by a vote of 67 to 55. It does put in funding at a figure of about $295 million for the 2018 and 2019 fiscal years. I did vote in opposition to that. Obviously, I'm very much interested in our whole K-12 system here in the state of Kansas, but I do feel, in talking to many of the people in the education industry, that this bill will come back to us, or at least the Supreme Court will suggest that the state look at, I believe, in my opinion, 2019 funding. I think we're okay maybe for 2018. Obviously, this will give schools an opportunity to start working on their budgets for the next fiscal year, but I think 2019 is going to come up short. But we'll have to wait and see on that once the Supreme Court reviews what we've sent over to them as far as a education bill. Big news, the income tax bill passed. That's Senate Bill 30, passed in both the House and the Senate with veto-proof vote numbers. The House number was 88 to 31 in favor. We need 84. And of course, the Senate passed it 27 to 13, and 27 is their magic number. The governor was quite adamant about vetoing any bill that came over that had a three-tax tier system in it. And of course, this one did. And he also did not want to see any of his 2012 tax bill repealed. And so we've taken everything pretty much back to 2012 levels. The one thing I will talk about, the tax credit or the three-tier system, people will actually have a less of a tax burden than they did in 2012. So that's good news. The other thing is it restores some of the tax credits such as child care tax credit, mortgage interest rate or deductions, and the medical expense tax credit. So it's got some good things in it. As I mentioned, it passed quite convincingly in both chambers and will become law. The governors came out right away against it, but the fact of the matter is I think many people want to come down here and get our revenue stream back in order. Big news as far as the budget, the 2018-2019 budget, omnibus appropriations budget bill passed in both chambers with pretty good numbers, 99 to 23 in the House and 27 to 13. That would be Senate Bill 105. What's happening now is that bill is in a conference committee. At least the House passed version is in the conference committee, and so we have negotiators from the Senate Ways and Means Committee and the House Appropriations Committee looking at that bill. By the way, there's 179 differences that they're going to try to iron out. I think in their first couple rounds of negotiating, they were able to shore up the differences on about 55 of them. And there's some real sticking points. The construction of a new prison in Lansing, the plan there, or at least one offered, I think, from the House was a kind of a lease purchase type thing. So there's a lot of unanswered questions. The Senate's not satisfied with that approach. As far as constructing a new prison, I don't like the idea either. And subsequently, that's a real big sticking point. There's things in there like, making payments to Capers, the Capers retirement system over the 2018-2019 fiscal years. Senate is in disagreement on those numbers, and also some raises for the non-judicial employees of the state. And so they should be able to get those out. I think they're going to be spending most of the day working on that. Now, things were going real well here in the legislature and then took a very sad turn here on Wednesday morning when one of our members, Representative Patsy Terrell from Hudson, District 102, passed away. And that really put a kind of a downer on the spirits here in the House because she was so well liked and such an upbeat person and really a hard worker and a great representative for that area of the state. I wish her family my deepest sympathies, and it was really a sad thing, and it was better part of a day for everybody to kind of get back on track, but we will miss her. She was a great lady.